Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome again to my channel. One of the things I used to do on my channel is to go through games on a weekly basis and talk about what was on sale. Since I didn't get many hits on those videos anymore, I kinda stopped doing them. However, with the summer Steam sale going on, I decided to take a look at a bunch of games that were on sale and talk about them. A few games I have bought on Steam, and there are some more that I hope to talk about a little bit later that I have just purchased. Games like Axiom Verge, for example. In the meantime, let's take a look at some of the games I've already played through and want to recommend. I'm going to give you the price of a game, normal, and then the Steam sale, and tell you if it's worth the price on Steam. Now, I'm not going to be looking at a lot of modern AAA games here, but a lot of indie and other downloadable classics. Also, I guess I should say that not all of these games I have played on the PC, and there are sometimes troubles porting to the PC. Sometimes it's better on the PC than consoles, and oftentimes it's worse, requiring way more patches, like Tales of Symphonia, for example, but I'll get to that when I start talking about Tales of Symphonia. Let's look at these games and see if they're really worth buying with the sale price, and if you should get them now or if you should wait for an actual price drop. Let's get started. Alright, as of this writing, I have not completed Azure Striker Gunvolt, but I have gotten into it about a quarter of the way through this charming action game from the creators of the Mega Man Zero franchise. Unless things go wrong, and I will tell you that in my full review, this game so far looks like it's worth it. So far, I would definitely say it's worth $10 for anyone looking for a good platformer shooter in the vein of the Mega Man Zero series. My only complaint with this game is that it's an obvious port from a 3DS game, and kind of a sloppy one. It looks like a 3DS game blown up on the big screen, so you got all the matting problems and just some of the ugly textures that comes with a portable game being blown up, and you can even see that in some of the awkward menu screens as well. But so far, it's a really charming and fun game, and definitely worth $7.50 if you're looking for a good action game. That said, there are better on this list, so stay tuned. Mighty Gunvolt. Now on to another Gunvolt game that I have a little hard time recommending even at the discounted price, especially since this game was originally made to be kind of a freebie game for those who either purchased Mighty Gunvolt or helped kickstart Mighty Number 9. And the good news about it, though, is that you get to play as Mighty Number 9 in a game that feels a little bit more like old school Mega Man than, well, Mighty Number 9. If his sprite was just a little bit bluer, he would be Mega Man. This one's a straight up 8-bit shooter. My main problem with this game, though, is it's not trying to be an NES game. Instead, they were trying to emulate a Game Boy Color one. So what does this mean? Well, it means the sprites are too big for the screen, and there are not a lot of enemies in most areas. The stages are easy and forgettable, and the bosses are the one thing that are hard, but for the wrong reasons. They just take a lot of damage to bring down. It's not a terrible game, but I would definitely recommend picking up Mega Man for the $5, especially on the Virtual Console. But it's going on sale for $2.49, so it is kind of worth it if you want something just to kill a few minutes. Especially if you're looking for something to feed in an 8-bit nostalgia trip. Not exactly the biggest recommendation on any game of this list, but again, it's not terrible by any means. Now here's a game that has some controversy behind it. There are 3 versions of this game, and everyone agrees hands down the PC version is the worst, and that includes me as well. The GameCube had much better frame rate, the PS3 just functioned better, and the PC version launch it was buggy as crap. Now the good news is they fixed most of these bugs. They have patched the hell out of this game. It works for the most part just as well as the PS3 version. It has a few jitters here and there, but for the most part it's a fully functional game now. That said, I can't really recommend it for $20 when you can get the PS3 version that is about the same as far as degree of quality, and also includes the sequel. So I can't really recommend this game for $20 just because there are better versions of it out there. that said, for $8, and if you only own a PC and you can't get on the PS3 and get it off the PSN, $8 is a perfect price for this game. It's got a pretty long quest. It's got some unique and memorable characters. Lloyd might be a typical shonen character, but there is a lot of humor in this game, and there is a lot of good action. And like I said, all this video footage I took recently just so you can see how it's functioning now. They have fixed most of the problems with this game. It is worth getting. It's not the best version out there of this game, but $8 is definitely worth it if you're looking for a good old school RPG. Oh boy, the first and probably only game on this list I'm going to say skip to. Look, Tales of Zestiria is not the worst RPG on the list. It's got a boring story, and that is the only thing that's really wrong with it, next to a confusing customization option. Everything else it does right. It's got a huge open world and a really fun battle system. My problem here is the $20 price tag. It's what you can get the PS3 version new and for normal price. So this really isn't a sale price. It's the price that it should actually be right now, if you ask me. But, I mean, there are loads worse RPGs on sale. Like this huge turd, for example. I don't know what sale price it's going under on Steam, but whatever it is, it's probably $50 too much. Oh well, I still have some love for Square Enix, and there's going to be a few RPGs from them that are on this list. I'll save the worst for last that I'm going to recommend, but let's get to a slightly better one, and that's Final Fantasy IV. Well, I haven't played through the Steam version. I have played through the DS version of this, and I actually kind of liked it. It's got a slight upgrade to the graphic quality from the DS. They smoothed out a lot of the sprites, and this is probably hands down the best version to play of this classic game. So I would definitely pick it up. If you haven't played it, it follows basically a Dark Knight named Cecil as he goes on a quest to find out what's going on in his kingdom and to redeem himself. This game also has a sequel which is on sale for the same price, and they're probably bundled together. I have not played the Steam version of the sequel yet, but I have played the PSP version of the After Years, and I can say skip it faster than you would Lightning's Return. Another strategy RPG I found out that was on sale is called Valkyrie Chronicles. Now this one I'm kind of just ad-libbing because I didn't add it to my original list because I didn't know it was on sale. But this is definitely a must-pick-up gem for Steam. Basically, if you haven't played the PS3 version, and for a long time this was kind of the PS3's ultimate JRPG, because for the first half of last generation's console life, a lot more JRPGs actually hit the Xbox than the PS3, if you can believe it or not. But this was kind of the PlayStation 3 exclusive of that genre, and it's a fun game. It's got beautiful visuals, and it's got a really great strategy RPG approach with a little bit of action into it. Now, I'm not recording very far into the game, so I can't really show you a lot of the game mechanics, and I never beat this game on the PS3, but I put many hours into it, and it is a blast. One of the things I like about this game is that it manages to do what the hardcore strategy RPGs do, which has the if you lose a unit, they're gone for good, but it doesn't annoy the hell out of me. Usually I don't like those games because they have that in there, and when I lose a unit that I spent hours trying to level up, it means I got to go and needlessly grind to bring another unit back with that stat. This doesn't happen here because you level up your type of units rather than individual units, but they give individual units their own personality and abilities, so you want to keep as many people alive as you can and not needlessly waste troops. And it's just a really great game. It's kind of a shame that its two sequels landed on a platform that's just never caught on in the America, which is the PSP. Because this could have been a really, really big franchise for Sega. Still, we got it on Steam. If you don't have it on the PS3, definitely pick it up on Steam and pick it up when it's on sale. Now, I own this game on Steam, and other than the graphics don't look really good blown up on a computer screen, you're in for one hell of a charming little gem. The idea in this game is that Shantae is a magical genie after a pirate named Risky Boots who is up to no good with some magic lamp as Shantae looks for the seals to seal the lamp away for good. Basically what this game is here is a Castlevania 2 clone. Well, a Castlevania 2 was actually good. As you explore around the kingdom and go into a variety of dungeons, unlocking new transformation dances to help you over obstacles, and it's just a really fun Metrovania game, and it's definitely charming, and it's worth picking up for $5. It is, however, a little short, and I do recommend the next game on the list just a little bit more than this one. Now, I own Shantae and the Pirate's Curse on the Wii U, and it's really a lot better than Risky's Revenge, even though Risky's Revenge is pretty good. If you can only get one platformer game on Steam, spend the extra $5 for this one. Basically, Risky's back, but this time she needs Shantae's help to stop the Pirate Master from coming back. However, Shantae has had all of her magic powers stolen away by that magic lamp from the other game, so instead, inside dungeons, she will have to find and use items like a hat that floats or boots that allow you to dash. It's just a really fun game with all these items that you can use, and it just really builds upon the first two Shantae games. If you're into 2D platformer, I would say this is the one definitely to get on everything in this list. And $20 is normally a fine price to pay, but hey, $10 is a steal. Definitely get this one. It's the best platformer on this list in my opinion. And there's another really great platformer on this list coming up too, by the way. Another two games I'd like to talk about, but I can't capture footage because these both run on a DOS emulator, and while they're emulated pretty good, my good old screen capture software doesn't go into DOS mode, nor does any other Steam capture software that comes with Steam. It's like being back in the early 90s all over again. Well, whatever, these are some really good point-and-click adventures featuring the cast of the original series, and I do mean all of them. We're talking about the late DeForest Kelley, the late Leonard Nimoy, and William Shatner, the only one that still seems to make it on time. Anyways, like I said, these are good old-school point-and-clicks, so you're going to have to use your noggin just a little bit, and you're probably going to have to get a guide off the internet, and I'm serious on this one.
You see, back in the old days, Kitty, we actually had to read the instruction manuals because the game would give us absolutely no tutorials and even where to go on the map. And if we didn't have it, we were completely lost. And we liked it that way.
No, he didn't. Overlooking that obviously flawed premise that you're going to have to go download a special map in order to get anywhere in this game, at least if you want to go without pissing off the Romulans, these are fun little DOS games, and if you like the original Trek series, you will find plenty to like here. Just wish I could do an actual review on them. Anyways, $3 a piece is definitely a good price for them. If you still have a taste in classic DOS games though, but you don't want a headache that goes with them, you can pick up something called The Secret of Monkey Island HD. In this HD upgrade to the classic game, you still take control of Guybrush Threepwood, a wannabe pirate in training as he goes through the trials of being a pirate and saving his girl from the notorious pirate LeChuck. This is a beginner's point-and-click adventure. It's really easy. The puzzles are somewhat complicated, but you're never punished for failing them. And it's got a wicked sense of humor. If you've never tried this game out before and you want a game that'll make you laugh, definitely pick it up while it's on sale. While DuckTales Remastered is not as good as the NES version, it's still a really fun and addictive game. I have it for the PlayStation 3, and it still had a lot of charm. With most of the cast from the 1980s cartoon back to reprise their roles or given good sound alike, the game comes across as an extra episode from the cartoon. Unfortunately, these extra cutscenes which pop up everywhere will annoy fans of the classic game, but all the pogo stick action is still here. The game still sells at $15 regular, and $5 is the usual sale price I have seen it at. I personally think this is the best price for the game. It's about $10. I really don't suggest buying it at the usual $15, but if you can get it for under $10, it's definitely worth a pickup, and at $5, definitely get this game. It doesn't hold up to the NES Classic due to some of the reworkings of this game, but it's still really, really fun. Dust: An Elysian Tale was originally released as a Summer of Arcade title on the Xbox 360, and it is considered one of the best games on the Xbox Live Arcade platform, and I agree. The game has some beautiful visuals and a great Metroid-esque gameplay to go with it, and a decent video game story to go with it. In this game, you play as an amnesiac warrior named Dust, whose adventures with a talking sword and flying squirrel creature managed to get him into a fight against the warlord named Gaius and to protect the Moonbloods, who Gaius is out to eliminate. On his way, though, people either fear or respect Dust, either confusing him to be an assassin for Gaius or to be this kind-hearted youth they once know, and Dust often questions which one he is, and the answer is actually kind of surprising and kind of neat. Overall, I really enjoy this game. It doesn't beat out Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, though, mainly because the last stage is a really big pain, and although Shantae can get a little extreme on the last stage too, Dust goes way over the top, unfortunately. But it's still a really great game, and I could definitely recommend getting it for $3. I reviewed this one a few weeks ago. This is a single-player poker game, but the idea is you're experiencing it with a bunch of crossover video game and cartoon characters and watching them engage in some various humorous dialogue. It's not for everyone, but I found myself hooked on listening to just some of the crazy conversations and laughing a lot at this game. The video I'm showing is of Poker Night 2, but the original Poker Night is also on sale for the same price. I reviewed this game a short time ago after finding it on sale for $3 and picking it up and playing. It's not much of a game, but more of an experience and discussion on just how free will you are in video games with their rules. The idea here is that Stanley has to find out what happened to all the people that worked in his office. He is led by a mysterious narrator. That said, you don't have to do what the narrator says. You can go off the beaten path and frustrate him terribly by doing that. It's a really short experience, though, for the most part, and an experience that can only really be felt once, so I definitely cannot recommend it at $15. That said, $3 is definitely worth picking it up. This is a game that you should definitely pick up on sale if you're interested in it, and now's a good time to do it. Yeah, I'm going to cautiously recommend this one. According to everything I've read, it actually improves upon the Xbox 360 version, which was a bit of a mess, and I only got halfway through before getting stuck. That said, unlike a certain other Square Enix game that also came out about the same time with a lot more fanfare and was a more flash than substance type of experience with lousy characters, Last Remnant at least tries to be a good RPG. Tries and utterly fails and does it spectacularly, but it does try. Open world settings, a lot more customization, and a story that is somewhat interesting, at least in the first half. Can't say Final Fantasy XIII was ever interesting. Anyways, give it a try if you're in the mood for a comically bad RPG. Anyways, that's it for this list. If you're wondering which games I would recommend above all the ones I've just mentioned, I would probably go Shantae, Dust, and Valkyria Chronicles would be the games I probably recommend the most out of all the games on this list. But I do recommend looking at or trying most of the games on this list. The only one I'm kind of saying stay away from, at least for the time being, is Tales of Zestiria. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just it's not worth it for the price that Steam is asking for it. Wait for it to actually drop to that price and then go on sale before getting Tales of Zestiria, and it's got problems of its own. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master, thanking you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I would love to hear what games you guys recommend while it's on the Steam sale. We got a few more days before it's over, so make sure you check it out. I'll see you guys next time.